Hello, I am Ryan.
Hello, I am Amy. Welcome to Listen to English Podcast. So what we're trying to do today is to give you ways to understand it directly.
Just understand it without that middle step.
Without thinking in your native language, so that you can be faster, you can respond more naturally.
More natural.
And really understand like a native speaker.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started.
Okay, so we need to think about why we translate in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, it seems so natural, right?
It's completely natural.
When you're learning a language.
Yeah, your brain's looking for something familiar,
Yeah.
And so it's going to try to connect it to what you already know.
Right.
So when you hear a word in English,
Yeah.
you want to immediately find that same word in your language.
Right. So it's almost like our brains are trying to...
Be lazy.
Yeah.
Be lazy, yeah.
The path of least resistance, right?
Path of least resistance.
Yes, the path of least resistance.
Your first language is just so ingrained.
Yeah.
So, it feels easy, but...
But it's like if you were
Yeah.
trying to learn to ride a bike and you kept thinking about walking.
Right. You're not going to get anywhere, are you?
Yeah, and so it's the same with language.
It is.
You have to build new pathways.
Yeah.
You can't rely on the old ones.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy.
Yeah.
And you know what's really interesting?
Yeah.
From like a cognitive science point of view?
Yeah.
Is that your brain actually develops
Yeah.
different neural pathways
Yeah.
for different languages.
It's amazing.
And when we translate all the time,
Yeah.
we're connecting the English to our native language,
Right.
but we're not building connections within the English.
Right. We're not connecting English to English.
Yeah, and that's what we need to do to really think in English.
Yes.
Like you need English concepts to be connected with other English words and concepts.
Yeah, so it's almost like you've got two computer programs running.
Right.
And you're constantly switching back and forth.
Switching back and forth.
Yeah. What we need to do is just have one program.
One program, yeah.
The English program.
The English program running.
Running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that takes so much less energy.
It does, because I think that's one of the reasons that translating can be so tiring. It takes up so much brain power.
Yeah.
And you're less able to really understand what people are saying.
And respond quickly.
Respond, yeah.
Yeah.
And, you might miss little cues.
Right.
And, people's tone of voice or...
Yeah, you're so busy translating.
Yeah, you're so busy
You
translating.
can't pay attention to the other things.
Right. And it can make you feel less confident.
It does.
Yeah, because you don't feel like you can really express yourself the way you want to.
Right. So the advantage of getting rid of that translation step is that you can just talk to people in English.
Yeah, just understand it.
And understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
And you don't need your first language as that middle step.
Yes.
And this is going to help you to understand idioms better.
Yeah.
And humor and cultural references.
Yeah, things that don't translate easily.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of advantages.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about some specific things that you can do.
So where do we start?
Yeah, where do we start?
Well, we have to start with single words.
Okay.
It sounds so simple, but it's really important
Yeah.
to start building these connections.
Okay.
So look around you right now.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Yeah.
Do you see a table, a chair, a lamp, a window?
Okay.
Now think about those things in English.
Just think of the English word.
Just the English word.
Okay.
Don't think of the word in your first language.
Yeah, don't translate it.
Don't translate it. Just think of the English word.
So, like, if I see a mesa, which is table in Spanish,
Right.
I don't want to think mesa equals table.
Don't do that. No.
I just want to think table.
Just table.
Okay.
That's right.
Got it.
So connect the image directly to the English word.
Yeah.
And this is going to feel weird at first,
Okay.
but the more you do it, the stronger that connection becomes.
Okay, so the more you do it,
The easier it'll get.
the easier it gets.
Absolutely.
And you can do this with actions, too. You
Right.
know? Like, if you're opening a door, think open.
Yeah.
If you're sitting down, think sit.
Mhm.
Just these really basic, everyday actions.
And so I can do this anywhere.
Anyway.
Like if I'm
Yeah.
waiting for the bus, I could just look around me and
Look around you and think. Bus,
think bus.
car, tree, person.
Yeah,
Ooh.
road, yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like study time.
No, just make it part of your life.
Yeah, just work it into your normal life.
Your normal day.
Okay.
And don't worry about making sentences yet.
Okay, just single words for now.
Yeah, just build that vocabulary. Like, you need to learn the alphabet before you can read.
Right.
And you need to learn to read before you can write.
Got it.
So start with the simple things.
Okay, so we're starting with the words.
The words.
Uh-huh.
What comes next?
Okay, so now let's start making some simple sentences. So instead of just thinking blue when you see the sky,
Uh-huh.
think the sky is blue.
Oh.
Or if it's raining, think it is raining.
Yeah.
Simple sentences.
Just simple grammar.
Simple grammar.
Okay.
But we're starting to think in English grammar now.
Yeah.
So describe what's happening around you.
Okay.
You know, if you're drinking a cup of tea, you can think this tea is warm.
Yeah.
If you see a bird, you can think the bird is flying.
Okay.
Keep it really basic.
Okay.
Present tense.
Present tense.
And what we're doing here is training your brain
Yeah.
to use English grammar
Right.
without translating from your first language.
Okay, so it's like we're taking those words that we learn, and now we're
Combining them
combining them. Yeah.
into sentences.
Yeah, like ingredients in a recipe.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Okay.
So the more you practice this, the more natural it's going to feel
Yeah.
to think in English.
So you'll start to be able to do it without even thinking about it.
That's the goal.
Okay.
Show us some more examples.
Yes, give me some more examples of sentences.
Okay, so if you're getting dressed in the morning,
Yeah.
you can think, I am wearing a shirt, or these socks are new.
Okay.
Or if you're cooking, like cutting an onion, or the oven is hot.
Okay.
And then when you're leaving your house,
Yeah.
you can think, I am closing the door jewelry.
Mm.
I need my keys.
Okay.
So really simple things.
Yeah. So things that I do every day.
Yeah, everyday things. Make them into English sentences in your mind.
Okay.
And the best thing about this is it's all about you. It's about your experiences.
It's not about some textbook, you know.
You're not reading a book.
Yeah.
You're living your life
Yeah.
and making it English
Yes.
in your mind.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So we're going from single words to sentences. What else can we do
Okay.
to make this automatic?
Now we're going to talk about self-talk.
Self-talk.
Talking to yourself in English.
So I just talk to myself in English, like
Even when nobody else is around.
when nobody else is around. But
Yeah.
in English,
In English.
okay, this sounds a little strained.
I know, but it's so effective.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's private and it's pressure-free.
Yeah. Nobody can hear me. I can make as many mistakes as I want.
Nobody can hear you.
Yeah.
Nobody's judging you.
Okay.
It's like having a conversation partner who never gets tired
Who never gets tired.
and never corrects you.
And never corrects me.
Yeah,
This is great.
it is.
Okay, so how do I do this?
Okay, so think about all the thoughts you have in a day.
Yeah.
Now try to think those thoughts in English,
Okay.
or even say them out loud if you're alone.
Okay.
So when you wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
you know, instead of thinking, oh, I need to get up,
Yeah.
think I need to get out of bed now,
Okay.
or I should probably make some breakfast
Okay.
when you're getting ready.
Yeah.
Think I need to brush my teeth, or what clothes should I wear today?
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be really deep thoughts.
No.
Just narrate your life.
Just describe what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're making coffee,
Yeah.
think of putting the kettle on and adding the coffee.
Yeah.
When you're eating lunch,
Yeah.
the sandwich tastes good, or I'm still a little hungry.
Okay.
And even simple observations like
Yeah.
the sun is shining, or there are a lot of people on the street.
Okay, so I can literally just talk about what I see around me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
So you're like a commentator.
Yes, I'm commentating my own life,
Yeah.
but in English.
In English.
Okay, and I think if you do this enough, it'll start to become more
Right.
automatic.
It really will.
Yeah.
Like your brain will just start thinking in English without you even trying.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like any habit, you know?
Yeah.
The more you do it,
Yeah.
the easier it gets.
The easier it gets.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about building vocabulary.
Yes.
We've talked about making sentences.
And self-talk.
Yes.
What else?
Okay, so now we're going to talk about dictionaries.
Dictionaries.
Yeah, so a lot of English learners use bilingual dictionaries.
That makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Because you can see the translation right away.
Yeah, you see the word in your language.
Right, in your language.
And it's easy to understand.
And it's easy,
Yeah.
especially when you're just beginning.
Yeah.
But if you want to think in English,
Yeah.
you need to switch to an English-only dictionary.
Okay.
I know it sounds harder.
It does sound harder.
Yeah, but trust me on this one.
Okay, so why is that better?
Because it forces your brain to think in English.
Okay.
So instead of seeing a word and then translating it,
Yeah.
you see a word and then you read the definition in English.
Okay.
And you see examples of how to use it in English.
Okay, so give me an example.
Okay, so let's say you see the word joyful.
Joyful.
In a bilingual dictionary, you would just see the translation.
Yeah.
But in an English-only dictionary, you would see something like feeling, expressing, or causing great pleasure and happiness.
Okay.
So now you're connecting joyful with other English words.
Right. Pleasure, happiness.
Pleasure, happiness,
Okay.
yeah. And you're starting to build a network of meaning in English.
So instead of just going from English to my language,
Right.
I'm staying in English.
You're staying in English.
Yeah.
And this might feel challenging at first,
Okay.
but it's so much better for your brain.
Really?
Yes. Because you're not translating.
Yeah.
You're understanding.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we want.
Okay, so you're really immersing yourself in the language.
You are.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So English-only dictionary?
English-only dictionary.
What else?
Okay, so now we're going to talk about listening and watching.
Okay.
So I know a lot of you already watch TV shows and movies in English,
Yeah.
and you listen to podcasts,
Yeah.
but how can we make this even more effective
Yes. How can we use this to really train our brains?
to train your brain?
Yeah.
Okay, so the key is to try to understand without subtitles.
Without subtitle.
Yes.
Okay.
I know subtitles are helpful,
Yeah, they are.
especially when you're starting out.
Yeah.
But if you use them all the time,
Yeah.
you're not really training your brain
To understand.
to understand.
Yeah.
So what we want you to do is to try to understand from the context.
Okay. From the context. So,
Yeah.
like, if I don't know a word,
Yeah.
I try to figure it out from the other words.
From the other words
Yeah.
and the situation.
The situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what's happening in the scene?
Yeah.
Who's talking?
Yeah.
What are they talking about?
Yeah. So really pay attention
Just
to.
all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your brain will start to make connections.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised how much you can understand.
Even if you don't know every word.
Even if you don't know every single word,
Yeah.
you can still get the general idea.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
And what if I really can't figure out a word?
Okay, then you can look it up.
Okay.
But try to look it up in an English-only dictionary.
Okay, so still stay in English.
Stay in English, yes.
Okay.
But the first step is to try to understand on your own.
Yes.
That's what's going to make your brain stronger.
So it's kind of like when kids learn language.
Yes.
They don't have
Absolutely.
subtitles.
They don't have subtitles.
No.
They just have to figure it out.
They figure it out from context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do as adults.
We're trying to recreate that
Yeah.
natural process.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not enough to just have the TV on in the background.
Right.
You have to really pay attention
Yes.
and try to understand.
Yeah. And try to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right.
And pay attention to everything, the
Yeah.
rhythm of the language,
Yeah.
the intonation,
Uh-huh.
the body language,
Facial expressions.
facial expressions.
Yeah.
All of that helps you to understand
Yeah.
the meaning. Yeah. And I think as you get better at this,
Yeah.
it won't be so much work.
Right.
It'll become more natural.
More natural, yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll just start thinking in English.
Awesome. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different things. We've talked about vocabulary,
Yes.
sentences,
Sentences,
self-talk,
self-talk dictionaries,
dictionary.
listening, watching.
Yeah. But one thing that I think a lot of people struggle with
Yeah.
is they pause a lot.
Uh-huh.
They overthink.
They overthink.
Yeah.
And this is because they're still translating.
Yeah.
And they're also trying to be perfect.
Right.
And that's just not how language works.
Yeah, you can't be perfect.
It can't be perfect.
Especially not when you're first learning.
No.
So how do we get past that?
So we need to shift our focus.
Okay.
Instead of trying to be perfect,
Yeah.
we need to focus on communication.
Okay.
Just getting your ideas out there.
Yeah.
Even if the grammar isn't perfect,
So don't worry so much about grammar.
don't worry about the grammar yet.
Okay.
Just get your ideas out
Yeah.
in English.
Okay.
And a good way to practice this is to do time challenges.
Timed challenges.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pick an object
Okay.
and give yourself 5 seconds
5 seconds.
to describe it in English.
Okay.
So let's say you pick up a pen.
Yeah.
You have 5 seconds
Yeah.
to say as many words as you can about that pen
In English.
in English.
Okay.
So you might say, black, writing, plastic, smooth. I use it every day.
Okay.
Anything that comes to mind.
So it doesn't have to be sentences.
Doesn't have to be perfect sentences, no.
Words and phrases.
Words and phrases.
Okay. Yeah.
And the timer is important.
The timer is really important.
Yeah.
Because it makes you think faster.
Yeah.
You can't translate.
Right.
You just have to use
And you
English.
can do this with anything.
Anything.
A picture, a sound.
A sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, anything.
Right.
And if you do this regularly.
You'll get much faster at thinking in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like any other skill.
It's like building a muscle.
You have to practice.
You have to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't worry if you can't think of anything at first.
Okay.
Just keep practicing.
Keep practicing.
And you'll get better.
Okay. So we've talked about a lot of different ways to practice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the most important thing is
Consistency.
consistency.
You have to do it every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like going to the gym.
Okay.
You know, if you only go once a month,
Yeah.
you're not going to see any results.
Right. You're not going to get stronger.
No.
Yeah.
But if you go every day, even for a short time,
Yeah.
you'll start to see a difference.
You'll start to see a difference.
Yeah.
So it's better to do a little bit
Yeah.
every day
Every day.
than to do a lot
Yeah.
once in a while.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
So start with 5 minutes a day,
5 minutes a day.
and then you can gradually increase it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And be patient.
Be patient. It takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah.
But you will see results
You will see results.
if you keep practicing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're really busy
Yeah.
and you don't have a lot of time,
Yeah.
you can still practice.
Okay.
You can practice while you're commuting.
Yep.
Or while you're doing chores.
Yeah.
Or while you're waiting in line.
Yeah.
Just find little moments
Little moments.
throughout the day
Yeah.
to think in English.
Okay.
And the more you do it,
Yeah.
the more natural it will become.
The more natural it will become.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's sum up.
Yeah.
What have we learned today?
We've learned that translation is the enemy
Yes.
of fluency.
Yes.
So we need to get rid of it.
Yes.
And how do we do that?
How do we do that?
We start by labeling objects.
In English?
In English, yeah.
Okay.
Then we start making sentences.
Simple sentence.
Simple sentences about our everyday lives.
Yeah.
And then we start talking to ourselves in English.
Even if nobody else can hear us.
Even if nobody else can hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we use an English-only dictionary.
English-only dictionary, yeah.
And we listen and watch English content
Without subtitles.
without subtitles.
Yeah.
And we do timed challenges.
Time challenges.
To make our brains work faster.
To make our brains work faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most importantly,
We do all of this
every day.
every day.
Consistently.
Consistently.
Yeah. So if you do all of that,
Yeah.
you will start thinking in English.
You will start thinking in English.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And your English will improve dramatically.
It will.
Yeah.
So I hope this has been helpful for you guys.
Yeah.
Think about one small thing
Yeah.
that you can do today
It's one small thing.
to start thinking in English.
Yeah.
And let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel grow and reach more English learners like you. By subscribing, you'll never miss a new episode, and by liking the video, you're letting us know you want more helpful content. Thank you for your support. It means so much to us.